Wow. All video editors, huh? All right, well, I might get myself into trouble right now, but what the hell, let's go. I've heard that sound is more than 50% of a film. That a well-crafted soundtrack can make a good movie great and a great movie amazing. That, well, sound without picture is radio, and picture without sound is surveillance. However, with technology and shorter production schedules, what we find is even the quietest places on Earth are not immune to our noise. Now, there's varying degrees of noise. Now, sometimes, you may have had just a little bit of noise on one of your projects. Not too bad. Some are really unusual. I've had that one. Some are kind of like medium-sized noise. Also, a pain in the butt. Deadliest catch is more like this. Yeah. Awful rough audio is my life. But I'm not the only one that has to deal with things like overmodulation and clipping and clicks and all that kind of nonsense. I know you guys too have to do as well. Hey, how many of you editors have worked with this client? Hey, I got this amazing shot. I just got it in, just came off the plane. It's amazing. I love it. I got to show it to the producer. There's a couple of problems, but I know you can clear it up. Okay, imagine this. Okay, we're in Peru. It is crazy. Do we have our Peru music? There we go. All right. Well, we had a bird in there. It was a little bit of a problem, but you can deal with that, right? Oh, and then we had a truck that started backing up in the middle of the scene, but you can fix that, right? Yeah, come on, you can do that. Oh, and I need it in an hour. Well, I'm here to tell you that you do not need an hour. You don't even need a half an hour. You can take care of all of this with iZotope RX3. Now, you're painfully aware of what your client brought you. And you also know what your client wants to walk away with. Okay. Now here comes the cool part. I'm going to show you guys how you can do this quickly, easily, and in the process, create a client for life, because they're always going to come back to you. And you can do this right in your video editing software, whatever that happens to be. But first, before we can get rid of the sound, the noise, we've got to kind of see what it is. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with this. It's our favorite old waveform display. It's decent. It gives us a little bit of information, but it really doesn't tell us what we need to know about where our problem sounds are. So, enter the spectrogram. Ooh. You can see right up here are our birds. We have our truck. Now, iZotope RX knows what the problem is, it knows where it is, and you can tell it how to quickly and easily get rid of it. Now, instead of going, oh, there we are, all gone. But instead of dissecting this whole thing, I want to talk about some stuff that you probably have to deal with all the time. One of the biggest problems I deal with is wind in the microphone. Anyone get that? Yeah. And overmodulation. Well, here is a clip from Deadliest Catch where we had just such a problem.
I would pee outside, that's how cold it is.
Okay, it's a funny line, but it kind of sucks. So basically, all we needed to do was we pull up our spectral repair. And you can see all the way down here, that's our nasty wind. So let's repair it. Okay, that's gone. Then we have some clipping up at the top, so we can use our declipper module to render that gone. And when we're done, let me play you the result.
I would pee outside, that's how cold it is. I would pee outside, that's how cold it is.
All right. Now, another really nasty thing that I get a lot of is clipping. Now, I don't know if you know this, but on Deadliest Catch, there are no sound mixers on the boats. Every piece of audio I get is either from a lav mic or a camera mic. And granted, these cameramen and women are out there trying to get the shot while also trying to dodge 800-pound crab pots and not fall overboard. So they've got a lot on their minds. So we get stuff like this.
Mikey, likey, a lot! Mikey!
Okay, now if we zoom in here, we can actually see, can we zoom in a little on the waveform right up here on our clip dialog? You can see that's not good. So we run it through our declipper, and after multiple passes, you can see that starts to go away. Now, I say multiple passes because in this particular process, I liken it to like a good shave. You want to do it in passes, otherwise you could really wind up a bloody mess. But at the very end, we wind up with
Mikey, likey, a lot! Mikey, likey, a lot!
So the distortion, the overmodulation is gone, and it really didn't take us much time. Now, the next in line we have our clicks, right? Clicks are kind of the bane of our existence because a lot of these wheelhouses have got, I don't know what the hell they have in them, but they make a lot of clicks. Now, I'm sure you guys deal with a lot of bad clicks. Now, in my personal opinion, any click that you don't want is a bad click. So let's play this and see if we can hear all the clicks in it.
We're trying to get this quota of the 360,000 into the... We're trying to get this quota of the 360,000 into the...
Now, I can't hear what you're hearing out there, but if we pull up our spectral repair tool, we should be able to see all of those clicks. Now, back in the day, we would have to zoom in and try and draw out each one of those, and then we'd want to go have a drink. But now, we're going to do something else here. We're going to live on the edge. We're going to be crazy and wild because we're in Las Vegas. We have our declicker. We are not going to set it. We're not going to preview anything. We're just going to click render. And now we have just the clicks. Pull it up on our... all the
We're
clicks
trying
are
to get
gone.
this quota of the 360,000 into the... We're trying to get this quota of the 360,000 into the...
Completely gone. Takes you about a half a second to get rid of that. Now, another big piece of nastiness that you may have to deal with, I deal with it all the time, is hum. You may get it from air conditioning, electrical problems. I get it from the huge diesel engines in the boats. So this is what a typical piece of wheelhouse audio might look like.
If you want to be somebody in this industry, stick and stay and make it pay.
Man, that was so good. You want to hear it again?
If you want to be somebody in this industry, stick and stay and make it pay.
Okay, here's the cool part. Now, while we can see that and hear it, RX can also see it, hear it, and learn it. So all we really need to do is click Learn, click Process, and play.
If you want to be somebody in this industry, you gotta stick and stay and make it pay.
Do you think that might help out sometimes? Let me tell you about another thing. Now, this is a real nasty one. It's not unique to my situation. I'm sure you've probably dealt with it before. I don't even know if you can tell what it is looking up there, but that is the idiot that walked onto the set with his GSM cell phone. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Forgot to turn it off? Let's take a listen to it.
When it comes down to brass tacks, I got a bunch of crabs to go catch and 6 guys I have to make money for. When it comes down to brass tacks, I got a bunch of crabs to go catch and...
Yeah, you laugh at that. You laugh at that. Now, this used to be near impossible to fix. Now, if we pull up our declicker, they even have a preset for it. You don't have to do anything. Please do not tell my bosses this. They think I do some amazing witchcraft in my bay, but it's pretty much just this. Now, speaking of presets, one of the things that iZotope does amazingly well is they give you a great number of presets, like this one, that will basically take care of a lot of your problems. They have another one that they don't advertise, but since we're here and the owner of iZotope isn't here, I can tell you about it. I call it my magic setting. It's in every one of their modules, and they kind of hide it in plain sight. They call it default, but don't let that fool you. Most of your problems, you're going to pull it up, put it through default. That will take care of about 90% of your problems. It does for me. Sometimes it takes care of the whole problem completely, which is good for you because you only have an hour to fix that music piece. So easy on that one. Now, there's a few other, I got a couple minutes here, a few other quick things I want to talk about with RX. If we just bring up the module for de-reverb. Now, I don't have to show you much about this because there's a lot of reverb in this room anyway, but it does exactly what is advertised. It removes reverb. For years, that has been the holy grail. We shot this in a live room with the microphone about 20 feet away. Can you fix it? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, you can. Another interesting thing you can do with it, that I tend to do with it, well, I use it a lot for ADR because on a smaller production like mine, a lot of the ADR that I get originates in offline edit bays that have the acoustical properties of, say, a bathroom. So they come to me really reverby. I can use this to take that edge right off, have it fit in the mix. However, sometimes the reverb comes completely dry, and it's got to go into a scene that has a lot of room ambience. Well, that slider goes both ways. Well, we're in Vegas. All I have to do is take a sample of the production audio, and then I can take that reverb and apply it to my ADR. So it comes from the same place. Yay! Another quick one that I think you're going to like a lot is another feature of iZotope RX3 Advanced is dialogue denoiser. Now, have a lot of you guys used denoising software? Yeah, you find a little piece of the noise and you learn it, and then you process the piece and all that. Well, that can be time consuming, and what if your audio is 45 minutes long? No one's got time for that. Well, I want my software to be smarter than me, and iZotope's real-time dialogue denoiser is just that. It listens, it knows what the noise is, it adapts to the noise as it changes, and you have to do nothing. I have this module on every one of my dialogue tracks. and I keep the fader down at nothing. Anytime I hear some noise I don't like, I just ride it up till it goes away, and I move on. That's all you have to do to clean up a lot of messy, noisy dialogue. Now, I know it would be a wonderful world where ice cream trucks didn't drive by location shoots, a magical place where that perfect 1880s ghost town doesn't happen to be right next to the interstate, an awesome place where bad guys aren't chased by cops with sirens and planes quietly glide across the sky. Well, we can wish and we can hope, but until then, we have RX3. Thank you. Gotta get my toys.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Bronow.
All right. That's awesome.